Alright, hello, and this is the battle of my orcs versus a wood elf tree army, and I'm now going to be starting with orcs turn 3, but I'm going to go back to orcs turn 2 just to kind of describe what I'm going to be doing here. So, he has his wood elves that are up there in the woods, and at this point I need to decide whether I'm just going to hold back or if I'm just going to go for it. And, you know, it'd been kind of a long day already, so I thought, hey, let's have some fun and do it. So this was my plan. I was going to declare my Wa. My units with my war boss and the night goblins would charge those only dryads I can see in the woods. I should easily beat them, and when I overrun, I'm going to hit both the tree man and the tree kin on the right side, and because we play clipping, I can make it so I'm only fighting one of the tree kin. My war boss would be the only one touching the tree man, and yeah, if I can beat that, that could be huge, but it's going to be risky, and once I go into the woods, he can redirect all those tree singings to be attacking me, but rather than moving woods, so, I'm just kind of going for it. And then looking at this picture, you can see it worked. Hooray! I beat them, ran up, hit these guys. He didn't really care that that had happened. He thought it was still great that I was in the woods. And then otherwise, my units all just kind of really moved up just to try and pin him in and, try and deal with that left tree man. I shoot some shots into those tree kin, and I do a couple of wounds. And then on the right side here, because I did my Wa, both my units ran into the woods, and my savage orcs charged those dryads and killed them. And now I have probably enough of this covered that I don't think he's going to be putting any of his reserves in. And I should mention, I did mention in the last video that he had one unit of reserves come in, and they went into the left forest there. So he still has 2 units of dryads in reserve. Alright, so Wood Elves turn 3, and oh boy, did he not like this turn. So, not a lot of stuff moved around. He has one unit of dryads with Drycha actually charged into the front there, but the rest is just kind of holding back. The units with the Brance Wraith moved back behind the woods. He didn't get reserves in, and with some spells, I'd lost some night goblins. But in the critical combat, I made a challenge with my war boss, so Drycha took it, came over. I killed Drycha in combat, which was fantastic. But then, because his tree man was only touching my war boss, the tree man couldn't attack. My opponent was not happy with that sneaky tactic, but I won the combat, and the dryads broke and got away, but the rest is still there. So Orcs turn 4, no new charges. Things are just kind of trying to move up. I believe with shooting this time, I kill a treekin on the left side. In combat, my war boss does 3 wounds to his tree man, and his tree man just does 1 back to my war boss. And I should also mention that he had 2 units of dryads that never even came on the board, so they're counted as destroyed now, so that's some more points for me. My shaman chariot also rallies, so there's a big bunch of points I just saved. And then turn 4 for my opponent. Oh, well, this is a bad one. Okay, so he charged another unit of dryads into my war boss's unit there. He didn't really do much though, because I netted them. And then when I won combat, the stubborn tree man broke and the treekin broke. So, oh, that was wonderful. And they're probably going to rally, but at least now I don't need to worry too much about needing to fight them straight on here, and now maybe I can kill off some of those other dryad units for some cheap points. Orcs turn 5. Terror from the tree man on the left makes my one left block there run off, so that's a bunch of points for him. But luckily my Doom Diver passed. In combat, I beat those dryads, but failed to run them down, hitting into the tree man, which sent him running farther back, so I probably won't need to worry about him anymore. And then I kind of make a monumental blunder where I send a chariot at those dryads with Drycha there in the woods. My thinking was I knew I took the D6 strength 6 hits, but that probably wouldn't destroy me. I could probably beat the unit, and then if it fled, I could hold and it'd run into my other unit here and be destroyed. but yeah, I just hit the woods and got destroyed, so there's a chariot down, so that sucks. And otherwise, just some units moved up to put on the pressure. Wood Elves turn 5. On the left there, his tree man and his tree kin ran into my unit here. He did a wound to my BSB, and then because I won by combat res, the tree kin ran, so they're back there. But his tree man, his dryads, and his tree kin at the top, they all rallied. My my war boss and the night goblins got charged by 3 different directions, and yeah, I was just broken by fear and ran down. So there's a bunch of points for him. I felt that they'd done really well, but unfortunately, I didn't really catch anything. I mean, when you look at the top of the board there, everything had rallied. So it was just, I guess in one way, it was a way of putting up a good fight instead of not just sitting back. But now I'm looking at it and I'm just going to try and hope that I can win it through table quarters. So, Orcs turn 6. I try and charge my wolf chariot into his treekin to force them off the board, but I failed my fear test. And then otherwise, there's nothing really happening. I mean, the tree man and those orcs over there, I beat him, but he holds. Overall, in other places, I'm just going to hide. Those wolves that you see at the top left should really be at the very corner, but his models are in the way there. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of holding still right now. Wood Elves turn 6. Not much of it really matters in this little picture here. These tree kin fail to rally and run to where they are now, and then the tree man just passes his stubborn. And that was the game. We didn't add it up, but we kind of figured it was a tie. For my side, I had 2 quarters. We'd each kill each other's general. I had killed Drycha, these treekin count as destroyed, and I destroyed 3 units of dryads. But then on his side, it also had my general. He had killed my war boss. He killed the night goblins, gotten their banner. That 1 unit of orcs had run off the board, so he had them. There's the chariot that I had destroyed, so he had those points. And then he has half points for my BSB and my goblin shaman. So it's it was pretty much a tie, and I think both of us at this point had enjoyed the game. Back before, when I had pulled that little trick where only his treeman could attack my war boss, and when my war boss was in a challenge, he could attack no one. He was kind of sore that I'd pulled that trick, but I'm sure he enjoyed what happened more than if I just held back and stood there for the entire game for a draw. And yeah, so he wants to get revenge. He wants a rematch, but he's going to have to wait for another day for that. So thanks for watching, and maybe the rematch in a few months when we go to a tournament. Okay, thanks, bye.